morning. Talking here in the United States where I'm on lockdown just like everybody else, worried about the coronavirus. Yesterday, a good friend of mine, 35 years old, died of COVID-19. And it got me to think about what I value in the world, the people I love, and I miss all of you and want to do something to help share our thoughts, our beauty, our music during these really scary times. So I want to offer this, and if people are interested, I'd like to work through this song. That was a song called Freightrain, written by a wonderful guitar player named Elizabeth Cotten, an African-American woman who wrote that song back in the 1950s. And it's an example of typical American folk or blues guitar playing with your fingers. And it uses what's known as the alternating bass. That is, the thumb alternates between some of the bass strings while the fingers play the melody. And this is a really good song to begin studying this technique because it's pretty simple. So what I'm going to do today is just show you the chords and then talk about what the thumb does. And we can come back in another couple days and work through the chords again and work a little bit more on how that thumb works. And if people are interested, we could learn this whole song and this technique that is applicable to all kinds of American music. So here are the chords. Very simple chords, except it's got that complicated F chord. All right, ready? So it's got C, then a G, then a C, then a G, then it goes to this E, then it goes to the F, then it goes to the C, then to the G, then to the C. Okay, once more, but a little more slowly. So the C chord, can you see it? C. Then the G chord. Then the C chord. Make sure I get it right here. Then the G chord. Then the E chord. Then the F chord, then the C chord, the G chord one more time, and then the C chord. So when we've learned those chords, we'll be ready to learn how to do this basic finger picking technique called alternating bass. And it's an alternating bass again because while the fingers play the melody, the thumb plays a bass line that alternates between strings. It almost always starts with the root note or the note that is the same note as the chord name. So in the C chord, we're going to hit that C on the 3rd fret. In the G chord, we're going to hit that G on the 3rd fret 6th string. On the E chord, we're going to hit that open E on the 6th string. On the F chord, we hit this 1st fret 6th string F note, and that's how it goes. And it alternates because what happens is the thumb hits that note from the chord on the lower bass strings and then hits another string. So I'm going to walk through this slowly, but not expecting anybody to learn this today because we'll come back tomorrow or another day and do it again. And I'm happy to do this live. We could do it through Skype, through Zoom, through FaceTime. You just let me know. But here goes, right? So the thumb, this is what the thumb does in this classic alternating bass finger picking technique. So on the C chord, I'm going to start with that C note, and I'm going to hit the next string up on the D chord. It'll be an E note because I'll have the 2nd fret held down. But don't worry about that now. We're just going to show you how that thumb works. So the thumb does this. G chord, C chord, G chord, E chord, F chord, C chord, G chord, C chord, and that's technique that's used in all kinds of American finger picking. Once we get that thumb working, it's going to take a long time. It took me a long time to get my thumb to do that. Then we can start to add the melody notes, but that's many days down the road. Once again, I'm going to play the song through in a very simple version of this Elizabeth Cotten song called Freightrain, so you can see how that works together, and we'll come back and work on the individual parts if you want to. Okay, here we go. And I could make it a little more interesting. And many, many more variations. Just want to show you that slightly more complicated version so you can see that the thumb just keeps doing that same thing. And eventually you can work in a little more complicated parts. But if you're interested, I'd like us to learn this great song called Freightrain with this very common technique in all of American finger picking or finger style guitar playing that does that alternating bass. I love you all. I miss you all. I hope you're doing the best you can. Be well, stay safe, and let's play some music together. Goodbye.